we about to enter into a new bull market? Today, in about 3 hours time, it's a meeting that has the ability to make or break what is about to happen in crypto, guys. It's an absolutely massive day, and if you're holding Ethereum, Bitcoin, or anything else, make sure you stick around to the end to see what potential price predictions I have in store. Guys, we jump into the Ethereum chart. We've obviously been going through a bit of a breakout. What's happening right now, the 4-hour chart on Ethereum, is actually pretty interesting. Bearing in mind, guys, I'm not telling anyone to take any trades right now. Personally, I'm not getting into trades based around what's coming up with interest rates today. Interest rates are expected to go up another 75 basis points. Anything higher than that, and we're going to see crypto crashing towards the floor. Anything lower than that, I think we're going to get launched into a bull market. It's all to play for right now. Guys, we're looking to a 4-hour on Ethereum. We're seeing something very interesting play out. Now this here, I've talked about before, the importance of identifying buy zones. Not looking at support as a single line in the sand, but actually looking at an area of support. Now noticeably, we had a big aggressive push up. We had this come back into this zone and then ramp out of it, showing me that this is a buy zone. We then got another purchase coming out of here. Again, now we've come down even lower into this. This is a liquidity zone for Ethereum. So big banks and institutions who are wanting to load up on Ethereum will push the price lower into this area to shake people out, making people think that it's going to continue lower and it's breaking a line of support in order to get them to jump into sell positions that they're going to load up their orders. So what we're seeing right now is really, really positive for Ethereum and has me actually very excited going forward. Obviously, we can see the highs getting pushed down each time, but noticeably maintaining this level through here. So this news potentially will have the ability to break us out of this zone, and then we're going to continue towards the upside. And I'm going to talk about price predictions for that slightly later on, but before that, guys, let's jump across and look at our old friend, the DXY, the US dollar index. Obviously, when the US dollar is doing well, crypto, every other investment's doing pretty badly. So what we can expect to see is something very interesting indeed. Now, obviously, if the news is as expected, we would expect the DXY to continue to creep up and towards this area, potentially coming down into another buy zone for the DXY, and then that could potentially launch us out like that. If the DXY receives a bigger interest rate boost than we expected, then expect the DXY to pump into this zone here. But again, I still think this is the high for the DXY, which is still what has me thinking that the bottom is now in for cryptocurrency. I think even if we get up to there, then we're going to bounce back down. Obviously, the DXY shows us a little bit of an indication that the US dollar is weakening, but this ultimately is a bullish pattern. And more often than not, will break towards the upside, which obviously shows us that crypto will be likely going lower. But jumping into Bitcoin, again, seeing something very interesting play out. Previous lines of resistance flip into support. And again, we're seeing a nice buy zone being established for Bitcoin, along with that one that we've just seen in Ethereum. Just sat around this area here. This is obviously a larger one, and if we did get pushed down into this area, I think we could well see Bitcoin bought up fairly aggressively around $20,000, and that could see us push like this. Don't be surprised if we see a bigger push towards the downside before the news comes out, if we're going to expect crypto and things to go up. Often before we get a breakout in a direction, for example, a break towards the upside, it's always pretty unsurprising to see a wick down into this zone and then a push. The reason, guys, as I've talked about, this is liquidity for the big institutions. They need people to sell to. They need to shake a bit of fear into people. People then suddenly start panicking, thinking it's going to go lower, lower, lower. Suddenly everyone jumps on a sell, and then it turns around like this, guys. Which is why we should always wait for retests of zones. Even if we're wicking down, even below this area, I'm still not going to be jumping into any sell positions, because this is why I've got a green box here showing me that this, if anything, is a buy position. I just have to wait for confirmation. So what confirmation might look like entering back into one of these zones down here would be some form of wick towards the downside like this, and then a big green candle like we had here, guys. We had a smaller green candle, a wick, and then this big push, showing that this was a potential for a buying area. So what does this really mean for Ethereum in terms of a price target of a potential breakout from here? Well, guys, we would take the height of this descending triangle, bring it to a potential breakout position. which would be then moving it up here to around $16.90. And drawing this line on the chart, we can see that this is a significant area. Previously provided us with some good support through here, and then lo and behold, it's been bouncing on and off this area for quite some time. We do need to see a break beyond this, somewhere into around $1,700 or $1,800, come back down to around $1,700, find support, and then push on. I still think then our next target will be up around $2,000, and we are not heading necessarily to all-time highs anytime soon, with all-time highs being back around $4,800. But what we've got, guys, still is a potentially great buying opportunity, right? We're still 213% away from all-time highs. However, remember what I told you in that Dogecoin video I did yesterday, which I'll link to the end of this video. What we're looking for, we don't want to buy big green candles, we wait for pullbacks. What we're experiencing right now is a pullback into this zone. What I'm really waiting for is confirmation that this zone is going to become a buy zone. What I need to see then to establish a buy zone is a candle like this coming out of this area. Then I'm looking to jump into buys. But right now we're seeing indecision in the market, guys. These are called doji candles, ones that look like this, where they basically don't know whether they're going up, don't know whether they're going down. And the reason for that is no one really knows what's going to happen with these meeting results coming later, which is why there's been pretty low volume in the markets this week. People haven't been trading so heavily because there's a lot of uncertainty. Buying and selling on news is a massive gamble because this particular news has the ability to shake the market significantly in one direction against the other. If we jump into the US 30, which is like the top 30 of the US stock market, this has basically also been rallying. You can see that in the time that it's been going down, similar sort of shape to crypto, although it does move a bit more aggressively than crypto. What we're seeing right now is we have broken beyond this previous high. We're now looking to form support, but while we're sort of pushing down into it, we're still yet to establish any firm upside movement. That's what we're really waiting for to give us the confirmation that crypto is going to continue to head higher. So remember, this is like the positive outcome for crypto. I still think if we continue to see interest rates hitting the same sort of levels around the 75 basis points, then we're probably going to continue anyway with this pattern. Anything higher than that 75 basis points, remember the interest rates go up, makes the US dollar more valuable, makes risky assets less valuable, less desirable. That will result in a push towards this downside. But I still think then we're potentially targeting this area down around 1442. If it was a significant hike or there was some other sort of negative connotation put onto it, guys, don't be surprised if you see crypto taking dumps like this. A lot of people have been going long into the market right now. That means that a lot of people are betting a lot of money that they don't necessarily have in order to buy the market. So what happens is when it pushes down, someone gets liquidated. So if they're over leveraged, they're using more money than they can afford to lose. Eventually they'll run out. It will hit a stop loss. That buy order then turns into a sell order. And then very quickly it will soak up sell orders, sell orders, sell orders, sell orders, until it runs into a bunch of buy orders. And I think for Ethereum, most people are probably putting in buy orders down here. It's not a bad idea to put in buy orders down here, in my opinion. That's not financial advice. It's just what I would be doing because, you know, we can see that this was clearly a very well-established piece of support for Ethereum. And if we're buying at $1,000, even if it goes lower, I'm still not unhappy of buying at $1,000. But we do need to just sort of wait to see what's happening in that news. Don't be buying and selling news, guys. Buying and selling news is a massive gamble. Yes, crypto itself can be a bit of a massive gamble, but we want to be buying when we have retracements, and good solid retracements would be healthy. When we get a good retracement in a crypto price, it gives us a great opportunity to buy. So you can get into your charts, guys. You can draw these boxes on. You can identify these liquidity zones like this. And if we are breaching significantly below liquidity zones, remember that we're going to then look for the next one, which would probably be around here. And you can see as it goes through, what we're looking for is confirmation in each zone at least 2 times before we are going to jump into any buy positions. Because if it does drop into this liquidity zone down here, you can imagine that it might wick, come back up, and then just drop through, which is why we need it to potentially show a wick, come back up, come back into this zone, and then we're looking for buy positions, okay? So we don't need to rush into anything. If you were expecting me to give you a crystal ball prediction of exactly where we're going to go with the price, well, I'm not going to do that, guys, because no one knows. Trading is about adjusting to what you're seeing in front of you and just reacting as it goes. Now we had a big push down. Ethereum right now, if it wasn't for this news, looks like a good buy in my opinion, but the news is putting me off making any drastic decisions. I do sort of feel that we are going to continue to push with the Ethereum price up towards 1600 and then beyond up towards $1,700. But negative news, I'm going to see this push down further in my opinion, guys. So stay safe out there. Hope you enjoyed that quick Ethereum update today. If it did help me out, smash that thumbs up button, guys. It really does help me out to know whether you've enjoyed the content and make it way more worthwhile when I get the content to more people. Thanks very much for doing that. I really appreciate your support. And if you're new to the channel, you want to learn more about Ethereum, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, other cryptos that are going to start pumping very soon, then make sure you subscribe to be kept up to date with all the latest happening. If you want to learn more about trading, dive into the Telegram group. I'll link that down below as well. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.